All right, this is gonna be part one of this white 67 here. We're gonna make it a Herbie the Love Bug kind of flavor, you might say. Just bought a set of decals. I've always kind of wanted to do this, and I figured since I've got two white 67s, and this one is actually supposed to be zenith blue, and it's been painted white. And rather than stripping it and repainting it blue, I think I'm just gonna put some decals on it and make it look like a fake Herbie. All right, I know what you're thinking. Herbie was a 63 ragtop. I had a 63 ragtop. Just a few months ago, I could have built it out of a 63 ragtop, but why waste a 63 ragtop? Especially when I have a spare white 67 just laying around. All right, so we moved the 67 into the garage to start working on it. It's real windy today and real sunny, so we're gonna have to drop this door, but I just want to get a quick video before I start laying things out. We picked up the decals on eBay, got the best deal that I could find. I think it was like 70 bucks out the door, which is worth a little gamble just to play around with this thing. Like I said, this is a spare white car laying around, and I'm just gonna make it look a little fun. All right, so the decals are laid out. I've just got some magnets holding it in place. I'm gonna split that top stripe because it's one, so we have to slide that down the middle. And I guess also too, what we have to do is cut this front gumball in half to make that bend. And you can see this is all beat up. I shed a little white paint over the rust just to make the sticker sit a little bit better. And then we have to make a trim here on the stripe to make it look good. I mean, I could technically just lay one over the top and just have a little bit of a seam, but I might as well try a little harder. And the doors would be no big deal. And the deck lid, they accidentally got the wrong size here, so they're sending me a new complimentary 17.5 inch instead of 11.5 inch. And like I said, I'm not trying to make this a movie car. I'm just putting it on the street, and I just want to give it a little bit of character, and I think it'd be just kind of fun to cruise around in a little Herbie looking thing. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and close this door, and we're gonna get the tape measure out, get some other pieces of tape out, and we're gonna line these decals up and just give it a start. Stay tuned. All right, the door is shut, and as you can see, we got a lot of glare going on here, but we're not quite ready to get started yet. There's still time to talk me out of this, people. Okay, Herbie is supposed to have fat chrome. 66 and lower has fat chrome. 67 has skinny chrome. This 67, since it was cowed out, doesn't have any chrome. I'm not gonna worry about that so much. Since I do have to cut this decal in half to make it lay good, I'm gonna have to put some kind of chrome down the center of the hood. Now, while digging up this fat piece for the video, I found a piece of 67 chrome, which I completely forgot that I have. So it would be worth at least taking the holes, popping the holes, and putting the skinny chrome on, depending how well I can line up Mr. Number 53 here on the very front. Okay, first off, what I did is I took some sandpaper, and there's some chip cracks here. I went and cut that down as far as I could to get the sticker to at least sit in there. You know, making that little bend is gonna be the hardest part. And I also did pull a really rusty set of eyebrows out of my swap meet box. I figured I'd never use them, but this happened to be already bent for the 67 and newer headlights. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pop those on there just to make it look a little bit more goofy. And one of the stripes had came as one piece, so I did have to cut it down the center. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that without goofing it up. All right, we got some measuring to do. The doors aren't gonna be so bad. I just gotta figure out, oh, look at that, one of the holes popped out. I just gotta figure out exactly where this needs to sit. And I think it's about right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the hinge method to put this big stripe on by putting the tape down the center and folding this down, pulling the backing off, spraying it, putting it back on, removing the tape and doing the bottom section. All right. Still time to talk me out of it. Okay, I just started playing with this, and I'm able to find all the holes for the molding. It looks like they just put a very thin coat of Bondo over it. So I measured off of one of my other 67s and found that they're 8.5 inches apart. So if I go to here and find 8.5 inches, I could find that little tiny divot right there, and boom, I've got it. I just ordered some molding for one of my other cars, and I guess it's gonna go on the old Herbie project. So I'm gonna end this one here. I'm gonna go through and clean up the rest of the holes and make this thing ready to accept the decals on the hood. So to start with that, I'm gonna get all these holes popped out. I'm gonna put the molding on, and then I'm gonna put some tape lines on there so I can see where my center mark is. All right, so that's it on this one. Stay tuned for part 2 of this 1967 Herbie build. I guess this is just gonna call the beater Herbie build. All right, thanks for watching Filet TV. Ciao.